James here with 24hourlockouts.com. What I'm going to do is show you how to rekey a kwikset lock. So, got all your tools here. Got your key decoder, got your plug follower, got your lock, of course. Got your new nose pliers. They don't have to be bent like mine. Tweezers if you need them. You don't really need them, but universal pin kit. All those different pins. And there's your graphs. You know, it's going to tell you what. Those are all the cuts right here that you decode with the key decoder. And then to the right of that are all the sizes, and those sizes match up with what's in these. You know, there's like 219, 210, and so on and so forth. So, you know, I've rekeyed this lock a couple times, but here's this. You know, this one works right now. Alright. So what you're going to do to take this thing apart is you're going to take this end of the tool. You're going to slip it in right here. And what there is, right there, is there's a little spring. And you have to get that spring down in order to pull the spindle out. And you just kind of turn the spindle, and the spindle pops out like so. You can set that down. You can take that out. Now you're going to take this end of the tool. You're going to shove it down in there. You got to kind of rock it back and forth, and it'll eventually. It's a lot. This one I've done a couple times, so it pops out pretty easily. But when you first do it, it's going to pop out pretty hard, because basically what you're doing, as you can see how that one's bent, and that's why it came out so easy. But when you're putting this down in, you're making these two clamps close in on each other or whatever, and it pops it out. Now, this camera is not too clear, but there's a little horseshoe collar right here that you're going to get off. Just like that. This is really important. Do not lose this. Your kit should come with the extra ones. So, once you've got that off, if you don't have a key, you're going to have to pick it. So that's why I got, you know, a battery operated pick, because you know how hard it is to pick a lock. No matter how good you are, you can sit there forever trying to pick it. So you stick your key in, you know, your key moves around, it unlocks it, it just can free spin. Now, once that little horseshoe collar's off, your plug is just, it could fall out, and you don't want that to happen, because right here is all the top pins, okay, and on top of those top pins is springs, and what's holding them on is this little stupid cap. And if you do not keep this plug in there, those springs are going to shoot everywhere, the pins are going to fall out, and you got about 10 minutes of reloading top springs on your hand, depending on how fast you get at it. I messed up so many times when I first did it, the first time that I got pretty good at it. Anyways, that cap is really a pain in the ass to push back down too. So, you get your plug follower. And this is very important how you do this. You're going to be pushing with your left hand, pushing this in. I almost messed it up trying to show for the camera. You're pushing it like that. See how it's moving? And you just keep constant, and I mean constant, pressure on it. If you let up just a little bit, those springs are going to shoot everywhere. So, you got that, and that's just acting as a temporary placement for that plug to sit in there. So, see, I've rekeyed this once before, that's why they're all colorful like that. I'm going to find a spot to dump these that I haven't opened yet, because these are perfectly good pins. Dump that out. Those keys are no good. Now, you take your new key, which is actually an old key. You've got your little key decoder, and right here is how you measure You know, so like the first cut is going to be a 2, and then the next cut is a 5, and then a 4, and then a 6, and then a 2. So you can stick your key in there if you want. I've already got all the pins out because I've rekeyed this lock a couple times trying to make these videos. So there's the first one, fits right in there, it's all flush. I know it's a little bit blurry on this camera. There's the next one. Always make sure the pointy side of the pin is what's going down. Where did I drop that one to? There it is. And that one. And that one. Now, I got these two in backwards. So, sorry, I should have just measured them out, but I already had them, so didn't want to waste any pins. Okay. So these two are still backwards. Sorry, guys. Alright, now you got them all in there. See how they're all flush and colorful. So now that you got that done, I mean, all you're doing is you're finding the pins in there, the right size, and you go off your chart, you know, that's right there. And then you just stick them in the hole. That's the easy part. The hardest part is taking the lock apart. So then, with the same pressure, now make sure that you do this at like a 90-degree angle. You don't want to line these pins up with your top pins up here because they're just going to go, it's just going to create problems. Slide that back on. Okay. Now the first thing you want to do before you do anything is grab your little horseshoe collar thing and stick that back on. Because now your plug can't fall out. But you can see that now this key is spinning this around. So that means you did it right. This key works. Alright? Yay. The key works. Okay. So, you can pull your key out if you want. Take your lock. Make sure you line the keyhole up right. You don't want the keyhole upside down. And you put the lock back in. Stick that back on. Take your spindle. The spindle should just drop back down in there, like so. Boom, locked. And that's, see, I didn't put the spindle in right because I was just trying to get done with the video. Because this spindle does not want to pop back down in there. There we go. So now the spindle's back in there. There you go. Somebody's calling me. And that's how